good afternoon. Today I'll be teaching you how to take perfect body measurement. So when it comes to taking body measurements, we have two types. We have vertical measurement and horizontal measurement. So the first measurement I'll be taking now is the vertical measurement. So all right. So in taking vertical measurements, you're going to place your tape rule on your shoulder. So the first one I'll be taking here is my nipple, and you know what I mean by nipple, right? Okay, so for the mannequin, shoulder to nipple is 9.5 inches approximately. So the second thing I'll be taking is the underbust. So in taking your underbust, you place your tape in the usual place, then bring it downward to the end point of your boobs. So for the mannequin, I have a 12.5 inches. So the next thing now is to measure waist. So when it comes to waist, we actually have two types of waist. We have the upper waist and the lower waist, and usually the upper waist is normally this is the upper waist, this is the lower waist. So the upper waist is normally smaller than the lower waist. So that is the waist point. Place it here as usual. Then for the upper waist, I have 15 inches. So that is the half length. Some people usually call it half length. So this is 15 inches. And the second waist is around it's 19 inches. So that's the second waist point. And the hip point for the mannequin now is 23.5 inches. So usually your waist to the hip is around 8 inches. It doesn't work for everybody anyway, but usually it's around 8 inches. So let's measure our own. So I'm going to place my tape here down to the hip point. As you can see, I have 8 inches. So this is 8 inches. So that's for the hip line. So the next thing I'll be taking now is my knee measurement. That is from my shoulder to my knee. So from my shoulder to my knee is 42 inches for the mannequin. But another thing to take note, which is very, very important, is that whenever you are sewing and you want to join your flare, or you want to cut 6 pieces, so the flare must start at least 2 inches above the knee. So if you want to join flare also, it must start 2 inches above the knee for ease of movement. So in this case where I have 42 inches, that means if I want to join flare to it, I'm going to make sure that the flare starts 2 inches before above the knee side. So that means my half length from here to here will be 40 inches, not 42 inches. Okay, so the next thing now is to take the full length or the full measurement. So for the mannequin, I have approximately 63 inches. So that's all about vertical. No, there is another one to take note here, which I want us to take note. So that one is the sleeve. So I want to measure the sleeve. There are two methods actually, and it depends on the one you usually work with. Okay, so some people, when they want to take their own sleeve measurement, they start from here. That is the first joining of the sleeve. Then they pass it through here, then to the desired length. As you can see, from this side, from this side to this side, which is 38. That means if they want to cut out their sleeve, they are going to remove this, which is 13 from 38. So the other method is to place your tape rule here at the joining of the hand, then to the desired length. Here I have 23. So that means if I want to cut on fabric, I'll be cutting 23, not 38. Or like this, where I measure from here to here, which is 38. So if I measure this way, that is if I use this method, I'll be removing what I have from here to here, which is 13. From here to here is 13. So I will remove it from whatever I have here. So 38, that will be 13 minus 38. So that is what will give you your sleeve length. Not that you cut 38 on the sleeve, no. So let's go to the horizontal measurement. And for the horizontal measurement, the first measurement I will be taking here is the chest measurement. Although it's not that necessary, but if you are using, because you may decide to use freehand method or pattern drafting method. So if you want to use a pattern drafting method, you may need to measure this. So for this, I have 33. 33. And the next thing now is to measure the bust. So where I'll be measuring my bust is the bust point, your nipple to nipple. Make sure that you place your tape here, the bigger side of the boob. So place it here. I have 34. And one thing I'll be doing now is to drag the tape a little bit down to confirm whether the 34 can actually come down on its own and go up on its own. So this is it. As you can see, it's removed. So that means I need to loosen it a little bit. So as you can see, you measure it tightly, and while measuring it, as you can see, there is a hand inside. So you bring it down a little bit. It has added 1 inch. So the next thing is to measure my waist. So for the upper waist now, this is the upper waist, this is the lower waist. For the upper waist, I have 26. And for the lower waist, I have 29. You know, I told you that the lower waist is usually more than the upper waist. So this is the upper waist. It is usually smaller than the lower waist. For this, I have 26. For this, I have 28 inches. So the next thing now is to measure the hip. So I would like to turn the microphone. So it is very, very essential to take note that whenever you want to measure your hip, place your tape at the bigger side of your hip, of your buttock. So let me show you what I'm saying. So this is the bigger side of the hip. You cannot measure your hip somewhere around here. You cannot measure it somewhere around here. No, it is incorrect. And you cannot measure it here. Nah, incorrect. So you have to place it on the bigger side of your buttock. The bigger side of your buttock. As you can see for the mannequin, this is the bigger side of the buttock. So place it here. Then drag the tape rule downward a little bit to check whether it can come down. See, as you can see, as I'm dragging it, it's actually, the tape rule actually increased by 1 inch. Before it was 41, but now it is 42 inches. So if you take your hip measurement firmly and do not confirm whether it can come down freely or not, that means it may not size your customer. So after placing your tape rule on the bigger side of the hip, so bring it downward a little bit to check whether it can come down freely. If it did not come down, the tape rule will even force itself to add to the waist. So that's for the hip. The next thing I'll be taking now is the round sleeve. For the round sleeve, you can take it out. It depends on the length of the sleeve we are working with. So the first one I'll be taking is around this place, which is 9.5, and the second one is around this, as you can see. So you have to do your tape like this. The second one is 7 inches. So the last part I will be taking here, or well, maybe not the last, but the next thing I'll be taking now is the crotch. And the crotch usually work when you want to take your hip, you want to when you want to seal trousers. So you have to take your crotch. Although people usually use random numbers like 15, 14, 13, but it depends on your customer. So you have to ask your customer, where should I place the tape rule? So some customer may ask you to place it at the upper waist. Some prefer it to begin at the lower waist. So it depends. So for me, I will place it slightly at the upper waist, then to the crotch. So here I have 15 inches. But for some customer, their abdomen, they prefer it to start at their abdomen. So somewhere, which is usually somewhere around this. So that is 13. So you have to know where exactly your customer wants it to start from. And when you're taking trousers, like there are some trousers that usually demand the crotch not to be that down, not to be slopey. So you have to ensure and ask, you have to confirm from your customer. So the next thing I'll be taking now is the lap. So that one also, you have to take it at the upper side of your leg. So this is it now. Then drag it a little bit. You check whether it can come free. So you take another one here also. It depends on how firm your customer wants it to be. So this is it. And you take another one, which is the last one at this side. So that is all about taking body measurements. Remember, when you take your body measurements, accurate body measurements, so when you take your body measurements accurately and perfectly, then you not have any shortage of clothes whatsoever. So the clothes will actually sit perfectly on your customer's body. So thank you so much for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye.